Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, do you understand what just happened last night? Do you realize the magnitude of what we just witnessed in Los Angeles? The Dodgers, the mighty Dodgers, the team with all the pressure, all the expectations, all the history on their back, came into this wild card game facing elimination, facing the possibility of a one and done embarrassment. And instead, they put their foot down on the gas, left no doubt, and handled the Cincinnati Reds by a final score of 10-5. Now let me break this down for you, because this wasn't just a win. This wasn't just a W in the column. No, 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 no. This was a statement. This was the Dodgers flexing their muscle, reminding the baseball world, we're the Dodgers. We don't rebuild, we reload. And when the lights shine the brightest, we show up early innings. Reds strike first. But oh, don't get it twisted. This game didn't start off easy. Cincinnati came in hungry. They weren't scared. They weren't fazed by the bright lights of Hollywood. Early on, the Reds' young guns came out swinging. Jonathan India gets himself a leadoff single. Then Spencer Steer, cool as ice, knocks him in. Suddenly it's 1-0 Reds, and Dodger Stadium is silent. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh Lord, don't tell me the Dodgers are about to fold again in October. Don't tell me we're going to have another chapter in the Dodgers can't get it done story. But see, that's where champions separate themselves, because when adversity shows up, you either crumble or you clap back. And boy, did the Dodgers clap back. Middle innings, Dodgers take over. Second inning, here come the Dodgers. Freddie Freeman, the man is just a professional hitter. Does what he always does. Gets on base. And then Max Muncy takes a hanging slider and deposits that bad boy into the right field pavilion. 2-1 Dodgers. The crowd erupts, the nerves calm down. By the fourth inning, it was like a heavyweight fight where one boxer suddenly realizes he's got the reach, he's got the jab, and the other guy can't keep up. The Dodgers exploded. Mookie Betts with a 2-run double down the line. Will Smith comes up clutch, ripping an RBI single to make it 5-1. And Dodger Stadium was rocking. The Reds tried to respond in the fifth. They scratched 2 runs back, cut it to 5-3. Ellie De La Cruz showed flashes of his speed and power, scoring on a gapper. That kid is the future, make no mistake. But every time the Reds punched, the Dodgers had a counter punch waiting. Turning point, Dodgers big inning bottom of the fifth. This was the dagger. Dodgers load the bases. Freeman draws a walk. Betts is standing there smirking like he knows what's coming. And then J.D. Martinez, the veteran, the former World Series champion, steps up. He gets a fastball right down Broadway. And boom, base clearing double into left center. 3-run score. The Dodgers take an 8-3 lead. And at that moment, you could see it in the Reds' body language. They were done. They were cooked. They knew it. Late innings, closing the door. From there, it was cruise control. The Reds added a couple runs late, sure. They're a scrappy team, and I respect that. But the Dodgers weren't about to let this slip away. Chris Taylor adds an RBI, single in the 7th. And just for good measure, Mookie Betts caps the night with a solo blast in the 8th. 10 runs on the board, 10 against a team that thought they could sneak into Dodger Stadium and play spoiler. Pitching and defense. Let me give some flowers to Bobby Miller, the Dodgers' young starter. Did he look perfect? Number. 5 innings, gave up 3 runs, but he battled. He gave them a chance. And that's all they needed. Because that bullpen brushed their greater role, Joe Kelly, Evan Phillips. They came in and shut the door. When the game could have tilted, they slammed it shut. Defensively, James Outman made a catch in center that saved 2 runs, and I don't care what anybody says. Those are the kind of plays that win October baseball. Stars and statements. Now let's talk stars. Mookie Betts, 3 for 5, 3 RBIs, a homer, and a double. That's MVP stuff right there. Freddie Freeman, 2 hits, 2 walks, reached base 4 times. JD Martinez, the veteran presence, 4 RBIs. This wasn't luck. This was a star-studded roster saying, we're still here. And for the Reds, Ellie De La Cruz is going to be a superstar. Spencer Steer, legit. They just ran into a buzzsaw tonight. That's all. Big picture. So what does this mean? It means the Dodgers advance. It means the Dodgers send a message. You can question their pitching depth. You can talk about injuries. You can whisper about their postseason track record all you want. But as long as Betts, Freeman, and that lineup are intact, they are a problem. And as for the Reds, great season. Young team, fun to watch. But this was the big leagues tonight. This was the Dodgers saying, thanks for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right now. Last night in the Bronx, the New York Yankees, the so-called Bronx Bombers, went head-to-head with their most hated rivals, the Boston Red Sox. And let me be the first to say, it was a night the Yankees, their fans, and everybody wearing pinstripes would much rather forget. Because when all was said and done, the Boston Red Sox walked into Yankee Stadium, handled their business, and walked out with a 3-1 victory. Opening salvo, Boston strikes first. From the jump, you could feel it. Boston came out ready to throw the first punch. Their bats weren't overly explosive, but they were timely. They struck early, got runs on the board, and immediately seized momentum. And when you're facing the Yankees in the Bronx, that's exactly what you got to do. Quiet that crowd. Shut them up before the Let's Go Yankees chants even get going. Boston plated runs in those opening innings, and you could almost see it. The Yankees looked a little rattled. They had opportunities. They had base runners. But folks, when it came time to capitalize, they didn't. And against the Red Sox, you just cannot leave men stranded. Yankees offense struggling at the plate. Now let me pivot to these Yankees bats. I mean, what are we doing here? The New York Yankees, with all that firepower, all that payroll, all those names that make you expect fireworks, could only scratch across one run. That's it. One lonely run. And it wasn't some towering blast into Monument Park. It was a small rally that fizzled out faster than it began. Boston starter, cool as ice. He scattered a couple of hits here, a couple of hits there, but every single time the Yankees had an opportunity, he slammed the door shut. Boston bullpen, absolute control. Now credit where credit is due. The Red Sox bullpen deserves a standing ovation. When they got the lead, they didn't just protect it, they suffocated the Yankees with it. Relievers came in, pitch after pitch, shutting down any kind of momentum New York tried to build. And by the time we got to the 9th inning, the outcome was basically inevitable. Minimal threat, zero drama. And if you're a Yankees fan, that's gotta sting. Because when the Red Sox are in town, you expect fireworks. You expect fight. But the Boston bullpen said, nah, not tonight. Defensive gems, Boston steals the show. Let's not forget, the Red Sox defense came to play. Highlight reel catches in the outfield. Check double plays turned at just the right time. Check every single time the Yankees thought they had a shot at a rally. Boston's defense cut the legs out from under them. There was one moment in particular. A ball ripped into the outfield looking like extra bases. But Boston's outfielder makes a play, lays out, robs the Yankees, and kills the vibe in Yankee Stadium. That's not just a defensive play, folks. That's a momentum killer. Yankees missed chances. And here's where I got to get critical. Because it wasn't like the Yankees had zero chances. They had runners on. They had moments. But time and time again, with men in scoring position, they came up empty. And against your bitter rival, that is unacceptable. This wasn't just a loss, this was a missed opportunity. A chance to make a statement in the AL East, a chance to keep pace in the standings, a chance to remind the Red Sox who runs this rivalry. Instead, the Yankees folded in the big moments. Unsung heroes, Boston's bottom order. Let me show some love to Boston's unsung heroes here, because it wasn't just the stars carrying the load. Boston's lower half of the lineup came through with clutch hits to keep innings alive. They didn't always drive in the runs, but they put pressure on New York's pitching staff, extended innings, and created opportunities. That kind of production from the bottom of the order, that's how you win tight rivalry games. Big picture, rivalry impact. So what does this all mean? Let me spell it out. The Red Sox didn't just beat the Yankees. They reminded them and the entire baseball world that this rivalry still cuts deep, that the Boston Red Sox, even in a season of ups and downs, can still walk into Yankee Stadium, punch the Yankees in the mouth, and walk out victorious. And for the Yankees, oh, this loss hurts. Not just in the standings, but in the psyche. Because when the Red Sox beat you in the Bronx, it leaves a scar. The fans feel it, the team feels it, and it lingers. Closing rant, Stephen A. Unleashed. At the end of the day, I gotta say it plain. The Yankees did not show up when it mattered most. One run against the Red Sox, that ain't the Bronx Bombers I know. That's not championship baseball. That's not October baseball. Meanwhile, the Red Sox, give credit where it's due. Balanced attack, timely hitting, bullpen dominance, defensive gems. That's how you win rivalry games, and that's why, when this chapter of the rivalry is written, September 28th will be Ray